kids are downstairs and Cedric's at work. I recorded this before with no makeup on, but I'm going to record it now with makeup on, and I'm going to make it quicker because the kids are downstairs and I don't have the time to lollygag. Basically, I will be doing weekly videos. I'm a little late on this week's video due to the fact that work. Why is it so messed up? Okay, due to the fact work got crazy. Okay. So I'll be doing weekly videos. I'm a little late with this week's video, meaning every 7 days, because my actual job got a little bit crazy this week. And you know how sometimes things happen, to see how committed you are when you keep your promises to yourself. And I'm going to keep my promise to myself. It may not be on time, but I'm going to post my video. Second of all, I did want to rewind to start my story where it began, where I was sort of consistent with my YouTube, which was when we drove across country to live in Los Angeles, California. I'll put some snippets up from that expedition adventure, because that was very fun. I would love to do a recap of that, like in a throwback video of our adventures, because I mean, that was amazing. It was just too much to handle because we were also getting settled in LA. So it was like by the time we got settled, I was like, footage, who cares, you know? But so you see those snips of us going across the country to California. I'm going to try to do a throwback video discussing more on our cross-country road trip to California, specifically Los Angeles, and how that went, and will we do it again, and what we enjoyed, what we didn't enjoy, and all that. That was one of my bucket list things that I wanted to do, was drive across country like the 1970s, how they did in the 1970s or late 60s, 70s. We're in Los Angeles. I started networking, going to YouTube events, YouTube creator events, doing a little acting. I did some on-screen work. I'll see if I have a snippet to put in here, where I was on screen next. So that happened. Cedric was a barber, full-time barber, killing the game. We were really living the life, you know, like, and then I stopped working for a little while so that I could prepare to get pregnant, and got pregnant. I was a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom for I think about 2 years, and then I started losing my mind, because anybody that's been a stay-at-home mom, more power to you, because let me tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. Literally, it was too much for me. I tried to get back working again while in LA, and I realized like I didn't want my child in a city daycare. There wasn't enough grass for me for my child in LA, and I just started looking at life in LA. I started picturing like what would life be like in LA with my child getting older, and for me it just wasn't what I pictured raising a child. I wanted a suburban life, and I know the valley and all that other stuff you can move to, but you know, just too many things for a young black boy to get swept up in. That too many things, variables out of your control. Whereas if we were back east, I felt as though there were a few more homely feelings, you know, that I can raise him around, and in environments culturally more fitting, things like that. So last time y'all saw me on YouTube was when I did an outfit fitting, I believe it was, and that was I think a few months before me and my husband decided it would be best for me and our son to move to Georgia to get settled, and because he's still working, he was still the primary breadwinner at this point, because I had to stop working because CJ kept getting sick in daycare, and it just, this is the life of a working mom and creator, which I want to do a video on that too. A working mom and I guess content creator. I guess content creator, because I really feel as though I am a content creator by heart, by nature. I mean, that's just, I mean, I was doing this before it was on trend. You can go look at my oldest video. I leave my old videos up, most of them, I think. Anyway, moved to Georgia January, because we stayed there for Christmas. But it definitely gave me a peace of mind. I got my mind, self back. and which I really needed. I went and stayed with my mom, and I got CJ in the daycare out there, which I actually liked. And so January 2020, we were in Georgia. I started going on interviews, got CJ in daycare by, I believe, February. Even before that, I think January, late January, I hit the ground running. I think I made it took 2 weeks to just breathe. And I was like, okay, I gotta get going. Then March hit. CJ got very sick. But I believe he had COVID before it was the pandemic COVID, because it was really bad. And he was in daycare. That's where he got it from. So that was March 2020. He got sick. Then they closed everything. What was it? Mid-March 2020. And that's when I was telling my husband, I was like, I don't care what you have to do, because he's still cutting in LA. He's in a major city. People are going on with life. I was like, I don't care what you have to do, because they started grounding planes. I was like, you're going to get to us, and once you get to us, we will decide where we go from there. Because we had our SUV in Georgia, so I'm like, we can drive. If you fly here, we can drive wherever we need to go. If you get a train, whatever. So I don't know if I have some clips of us in Georgia. I'll try to throw that in. He ended up getting to us by end of March, beginning of April. He got there to us, and from there, after he got to us in Georgia, we were pretty much stuck there with my mom and where's my youngest sister? I don't know where my youngest sister was at, but her son and my older sister was there, and my mom's boyfriend / fiance. Excuse me, I don't know what they just did. But it was a lot with all these people living in one house, and you know, it was just a lot. It ended up being a I forget what it was called, but a canister of crazy. And we had to leave. During the pandemic, we got a plane tickets. I believe it was April, end of April, beginning of May. We got plane tickets, and we flew out of Georgia back to LA. Me, my husband, our son. We shipped our car. The day before we left to go get on the plane, we took an Uber to the airport in Atlanta, the Atlanta airport. It was like a ghost town. Atlanta airport was like a ghost town. I don't know if you ever seen Not Without My Child, minus all the people around. I felt like that because we had, you know, masks on and stuff like that. We were wrapped up. We got to LA. A month later, I realized I was pregnant. I did not realize it. I did not know. I was probably about 2-3 months pregnant when I realized it, May, June. And we realized we had to get back to the East Coast because it was so much craziness going on. Protests, civil unrest, crazy. Restaurants, grocery stores being shut down and closed at 2 p.m. I'm pregnant. Things are closing at 2 p.m. and it's just, and I'm working from home at this point. I'm working remotely because I had got a remote job. That's another thing. I got offered a job in Georgia. A very major, big corporation offered me a job in my field. And then that was a day before the lockdown. The lockdown happened. I mean, they sent me onboarding papers, everything. I just didn't get my contract yet. The next day, the lockdown happened. The recruiter contacted me and said, we can't move forward. They've stopped all hiring. They've frozen all hiring. So that's a whole nother story. But so I had another job. I'm working remotely from LA. My husband's still cutting occasionally because we need money. So we realized we need help because I'm going to have a baby. We already have a child, and we can't do this in LA by ourselves anymore. That was the whole thing in the first place. So we made the plan to move to Maryland, where majority of my husband's family lives. But at the time, it was helpful because we packed all of our stuff in the matter of 1 month, packed all of our stuff into a pod, had it shipped to Maryland, which took about 4 weeks, 4 or 5, 6 weeks. Had both of our vehicles shipped to Maryland. And yeah, that was a whole ordeal. That was like a very tumultuous time because I was still working, pregnant, moving with a 2 or 2.5-year-old. So we get to Maryland. We stay with my mother-in-law for a week and a half. We find a nice townhome. and we move in within 2 weeks of being in Maryland. We're moved into our townhome. We're still waiting on our stuff from LA. I'll put up some pictures and stuff of us in the townhome when we first moved in. But we're still here now. It's now going on almost 3.5 years. We've been here. We love it here, but it's not close to what we need, which is our kids' school and daycare and my job. But it's close to my husband's job, so that's a positive. But I say all that to just catch you all up to where we are now, and going forward on this channel, I will most likely have hair videos. We have a creative channel, Cool Culture Creative. And my sons have a channel. Oh, we had a boy. When we got to Maryland, I had the baby. We got to Maryland July 2020. I had the baby January 2021. The baby. He's about to be 3 years old Saturday. So, and I've been gone for a while. So, he's a big boy, Sire. We named him Sire, Cyr. Gosh, I think they're about to come upstairs, so I'm gonna quickly hurry this up. But that is now. We are now where we're at. I have 2 sons, 5 and 2. They will be 3 and 6 within the next week. And they also have their own channel, Cheney Boys with a Z. Boys with a Z. They like to do videos. I post on there too weekly, every 7 days. Their videos that they record themselves. I just edit it and do the creative stuff to it. And I hope you all like join in on our journey, on our ride, because I want to be more consistent. I want to share this journey of being a working mom and wife. On our Cool Culture Creative channel, we'll probably have His View, Her View, which was our podcast we did, which we didn't know it was a podcast before. We were just talking with each other. So yeah, I'm happy to be back creating again, because this is a hobby. I feel like I'm getting my pink back. Like, I don't know if you have seen that flamingo thing where they say after a flamingo has a baby, she loses her pink for a while, but then eventually comes back. I feel like I'm getting my pink back, getting more in touch with what I genuinely like doing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing more with you guys and being able to look back at my work. I appreciate you all checking in, and I hope, please comment below if you like this video. Please comment if you've seen my old videos, if you were following me or subscribed to me when I was still in LA. And also I can touch on, pros and cons and what we miss about LA, living in LA, and what we like about living here now, and will we ever go back? Do I still want to do bi-coastal? That was a whole plan, to be bi-coastal. LA and Georgia, which it was working out, because if I got that major corporation job, it would have been that. But I gotta go. They're coming upstairs. Bye. You know who it is. It's Mia. Are you ready? PHENOMENAL.